Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review the VelociPastor, a man of the claw.
Written and directed by Brendan Steere, starring Alyssa Kempinski, Greg Cohan, and Daniel Steere. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime. So what do we like? I liked everything.
Okay. The concept of a pastor turning into a velociraptor and fighting ninjas is amazing. The name in itself and the poster are going to get a lot of people in the door. And thankfully it did, because we went into this thinking it was going to be way worse than it actually was. This was well represented from the title.
Right, yeah, but I thought it was going to be goofy and just, you know, your classic B movie with not a lot of substance and poor acting and bad direction, but it didn't have any of that. It was great.
The acting is surprisingly strong and deadpan. They're so serious, like all the time, and that's what makes it even funnier.
I'm a priest. So we can never say you've
Wait, what are you even talking about?
What are you talking about?
The time you turned into a dinosaur and ate someone.
What?
Especially the pastor himself. He would get angry at times and you're just like, whoa, look at the emotion in this guy. And there are moments where you're just like, wow, that guy needs to chill out. Even though it's so clearly a comedy movie.
So even though, yeah, there a lot of parts were over the top, but it was purposefully over the top, and it didn't seem like they were trying too hard or anything. It seemed like they were hitting exactly where they were aiming. The characters in this movie were really good too.
Our hooker turned out to be significantly more badass than she appeared. And she was a good actor as well.
I'm lit up right and hot to trap where you want me tonight, Daddy-o.
Carol, hello.
But I think one of my favorite characters had to be Frankie Mermaid.
Absolutely.
The pimp.
He was like the most badass pimp I've ever seen.
This is actually the turning point for the VelociPastor himself, where he realizes Frankie Mermaid killed his parents, and he is basically like Batman and is out to kill people that do crime.
Oh shit, actually a couple months ago, this fucking old couple, I blew up their car.
Except he transforms into a dinosaur, which was not CG. One of the best things about this is that it's practical effects. Sure, there's some VFX work at points, but for the most part, you got like a practical dinosaur, cheesy ass blood spraying all over the place when people get killed.
Mannequins. I mean, the setting of everywhere was the exact same. Like little patch of forest.
Except China.
No, China was too. Exactly the same.
I've never been to China, so I don't know.
Well, there's a little more bamboo in general.
The comedy itself and like all the jokes, everything was funny. There's no low-hanging fruit jokes. It's just like quality fun.
Where did all these ninjas come from?
I fought some ninjas last night. Maybe they followed me home.
Just thinking of some over dramatic kills with like screaming and blood, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so over the top. But it was clearly on purpose and hilarious.
So we actually did a commentary for this for Patreons. Check out the Patreon link in the description. But when doing that, we realized like it was really hard to talk over because we don't want to miss anything. They're making better jokes than we could come up with.
That's true.
So like, it's basically just us laughing for a while.
It's basically just like watching that movie with us.
But it's still a good commentary. Sign up for Patreon. Because I can't imagine that a review for the VelociPastor is going to pay the bills.
Let's talk about dislikes, I guess.
My biggest complaint is the fact that there is not a ton of the Velociraptor, the pastor. I like the dinosaur. It's funny. It's awesome. I always want to see more of it.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good point. It was fun, but maybe it could have been overdone. If it was too much of that ridiculous dinosaur costume.
You're right.
It could have gone over the top, but I think, you know, the fight scene, the full fight scene with all-out VelociPastor, that was great. We're talking about dislikes, Jay. God damn it.
That's okay. You're allowed to defend my dislike.
Okay, good.
God does not want people dead.
Oh, I think God wants a lot of people dead.
I wish Frankie Mermaid was in it a lot more.
Yeah, that's a good dislike. I really liked that character.
And why is my name Frankie Mermaid?
'Cause you're swimming in bitches.
We've talked about him quite a bit for this, considering the amount of time he was on screen.
Yeah, he was just kind of like in the beginning for a minute.
He didn't really play an integral part to the story. But we also didn't know if she remained a hooker or not after he died. So, okay, this was a controversial topic while doing the commentary. Because she continued to dress like she was going to work as a hooker.
Listen, if your boss died tomorrow and you didn't have a job, would you buy a new wardrobe? No, you don't have a job.
No, but I wouldn't be hanging out on the street smoking, looking like I'm a hooker still, on the same street that I was hooking on.
It was in front of a church.
Doesn't matter. You know how many
Church hookers?
I'm not getting into the number of church hookers I've seen before.
I haven't seen a lot.
But you can sin in confession right away.
I'm really having a hard time coming up with dislikes.
Okay.
So it's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
This movie was an absolute blast. We had such a fun time watching it. I'll be honest. I walked in thinking it was going to be not so great, and I was shocked. Sure, it's an indie movie. It's low budget, but everything that was poorly done was poorly done on purpose, and it's hilarious. The acting is great, the concept is excellent, and of course the dinosaur was practical, looked super cool in a really cheesy way, and there's blood spraying everywhere. Sure, I wish he was in there a little bit more, but I had such a fun time watching this, and I think a lot of people will as well. So I'm gonna give this 4.5 hooker dresses out of 5.
I went into this movie only seeing the cover. I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't know what we were getting into, and I was blown away. I had no idea it was gonna be like it was. It's rare that you're so pleasantly surprised with a movie like this. I mean, something called VelociPastor. It's absurd, right? But the absurdity of it adds to it, and they knew they were being absurd, and they did it so well. I liked a lot of the kills in the movie, and over-exaggerated emotion and some dry humor that I especially appreciated. I haven't done a review where I have just not been able to say anything bad about the movie before, but I absolutely loved it. So for that, I am going to give this movie 5 happy memories out of 5.
You're my only son.
Thanks, Dad.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And you should definitely check out our commentary. Patreon link also in the description. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.